Okay, we're finally online. We're finally running. Welcome to Space Engineers Learning to Space Engineer. Yeah, all of the pre-flight checks were going south and my phone was blowing up like a mad crazy fool because, you know, people and stuff. Not very much of it relevant. I'm still watching it kind of blow up a little bit, but at least it's not making a whole lot of noise. Anyways, so what you'll notice is we're not on the moon currently. This is my other save, my daily driver save. As I stated in the past, I wanted to kind of split this episode, the Sunday stream, into starting with a bit of a showcase and then going into the other thing. One of the things that I also wanted to kind of finish up something that I was working on earlier. I had to do a lot of errands and things around the house, so I didn't get a whole lot done. So I didn't get done what I wanted to get done. I was really close, so we're finishing up. So I think I've talked before about my my Parvis ships that I'm currently working on for. Eventually it'll be in the workshop, but they're still in testing mode. This is one of them. This is the transport one. This has actually been getting some rework actually today. But I'm going to, the plan was I got it here to grab some fuel, which I'm going to throw some ice on board right now. I'm at my fuel station, so that makes sense. Tank should be fully loaded. Yes, okay. So it should be all good there. Now, on in atmosphere, these things, because I don't put a whole lot of engines in them, they don't move a whole really fast. But they are atmospheric capable. They're just not meant for it. They can do it. So like if you want to use it for going down to the planet and stuff like that, or even moving around, but it's not recommended. But this is kind of to show off the spaceport because it's the first phase of it is done, or I should say first round of iteration is done. So much how I do everything, I will get it all wireframed out, then I'll weld it together. While I'm welding it all together, I'll kind of like start doing, so usually when I'm welding together, it's kind of like first iteration. So wireframe is the build, welding its first iteration, and now that it's all welded, I can start looking into second iteration and third or fourth, taking it through its paces and stuff, whatnot. So but we're approaching it now. And the whole point of this station was to be able to accept these things. I mean, granted it's tight, but they'll fit. I've already got the drill ship in there. It needs to be reworked, but still, which I showed last week. And I mean, it's there. But I've already, I mean, it's an older version, and I've already done some changes to it. Oh, good sinking, good sinking. Got maybe a little too much ice on board for what this. The thrusters can handle this. There's 2 hydrogen thrusters, which means they can handle up to about 220, and I'm at 205, so I'm a little on the heavy side. Now, the way these thrusters are arranged, they'll burn the hell out of this deck, but we can re-weld it as long as we don't. Whoa! Remember quickly, you ain't gonna be able to see nothing, because what'll happen is it'll actually go through. The camera's so close it goes through the deck, so I actually have to line up with something that's actually completely under the deck, but I know what it is. It's basically this cargo container at you. Come on. Find it. There it is. Ah, crap. So one of the problems is that I just remembered is I have two things called Parvis that are on this thing. So I'm gonna unlock this because I'm gonna have to do some name changes. Oh, it doesn't. It's not fitting. You are longer than 9 blocks, sir. So yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's all right. We can do some stuff here to make it fit. As it stands, we can't close the door. So this is the inside of the base. Let's actually let's go outside first, and I'll show you around the outside, and then we'll kind of look around at where we're at the inside, and we'll touch on a few things that will need to be iterated on. It's coming along nicely. Okay, so here it is, and it's kind of built around like there's no front or back, except in regards to steering, and there's some nav on it. It does, one of the things that I need to do is make it so I'm probably going to, and this is kind of an example of one of the problems I'm running into is that the ships fit, but they just barely fit. And these look short anyways. So I'm thinking already, which is going to be a long project, but extending these out another like 5 frames. Possibly 7. Actually, they're already on odds, so it'd be like 4 or 6, something like that. But making them slightly longer so it's not. So I got some more wiggle room in these bays. I don't want the ships to just fit. You know, top to bottom's fine, but like front to back, it's always like I have to move a connector to make it if a connector's not exactly where I want it to be and stuff like that. But so it's 4 pull-in bays, 2 what I call heliports on top, so you can do that. I have a plan for this back bay to be more for like small fighters. I missed one. Oh crap, thought I had all these welded. Bugger. Good thing I was flying around. I was wondering why I had I was estimating that a certain amount of these metal grids would be left, and I had a little bit more than which was anticipated. Alright, there's that. Just missed a step. That's all. Okay, so now these thrusters in the corners will come out. They're just so that I can get it out of here, but I may leave them because the idea is this is going to be a mobile station, so it's not gonna, I'm not gonna put it in space and then permanently affix it. It's going to be one where you can be like, okay, we'll move it. It won't have a jump drive, or at least it doesn't have one right now, but it's one where you can move it from point to point, and it doesn't have any guns yet, so that's another iteration that needs to be done yet too. I always do guns later because I don't want to distract from the shape at all. But I like how the tower came out. I like how the insides came out. Everything kind of came out well. The only thing I said is, it's like once I got done, I was just like, yeah, these bays are too short. But the idea being is either these thrusters will come out and some ports will go in so that you can have other ships dock to it as well. So it'll be where you can dock a lot of ships to it. And the PCU on it's not too high. We'll do a top down for the inside. So there's access. I always like having access to the bridge, and there's an airlock in here and stuff like that, so that you can get in and out real quickly. And then you have the bridge area, fully airtight. You got a good view of the base itself from up here, so it makes it really nice. You do have your different control stations. When I have guns, you'll have like gun control and stuff like that, flight control and stuff. Go down. Now I always put like a station director or CO's quarters near the bridge, so the idea was always being, so like, hey, if something happens, they can wake him up and get him upstairs. And so I always put those like really close by. Usually like the first room in the power, and then there's like a little hidden storage area. Then you have the main deck airlocks, which will get you out to this area, so you can kind of like see. Just if you need to. And then we can go down, and then so this is the lounge, cafeteria, and offices. So this is the bigger lounge, and then got some screens you can go back, and here is the cafeteria for the ship and the crew. Always important. And then on either side we have a set of offices and boardrooms, so you can have meetings and stuff like that. And there's one on the other side, also with nice views out. Like I said, I'm always big on windows and having a view outside. So then we can go down. So this is like the smaller lounge, and this is where the bathrooms are at. For there, and then you can go through this airlock, through these hatches, and that gets you into the crew berthing. So this is just the berthing for the crew of the station. You know, give them a little like private lounge area for the crew when they're off shift. Nice big berthing, got a hat on either side. And we go down another level, and we have the medical level. So there's some waiting areas on either side. But you know, the usual medical, you've got your med bay and medical station back here, and then you have your racks for the sick, and then you have like the airlock doors to access outside, so in case like someone's coming in emergency, and come in through the doors. Weirdly, I didn't line up the doors with the landing pads. That's kind of purposeful. I don't like them directly. It would seem that you would want to. I don't, because I always look at it like, what if an enemy's coming in and they're attacking? You don't want them to be able to go right straight in through the door. You want to have a chance to interdict them beforehand, so I generally don't have the door straight ahead. It's a weird thing. So that's that deck, and then we go down. Now we're into the engineering space, which also connects all of that. So this is just the, you know, floor for the engineering space, and then there's the below engineering, which we usually call the bilge, which is down below. But as you can see, all of the hangars are colored differently and are labeled so you know which one you're at and what you're doing. This one is the D one, and it's red. And then you have like the B one. And then there's this one that we just came in on, which is A. And then you have C over here. And this is the one that I needed to go to, because this is the one the miner's in, and when I connect it up, it turned the thrusters on. Check, make sure all those are off. So as you can see, this one barely fits, but I have gotten a large grid miner to fit inside here. I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with this design. I'm happier with the newer version of this design because it drills a little bit better. This one still works. It's just the newer version of this is slightly better. With that, and the below decks and below these hangars, particularly for this one. So this is the hangar C. To account for the fact those thrusters are gonna, there's welders that will address any of the most of the blocks, not all of them because of the way that they're arranged, most of the blocks. And then you have a control room for this area. We have quick accesses in between the different control rooms. So this one is going to be the pilot berthing. This is the berthing for the pilots. They get a little bit more private space and, you know, a little more individuality. Take a quick hallway over to the next one. This is just another straight up control. This one's set up the same as the other one so that, you know, to handle the bigger ones that will do be frying the deck, so there's welders in there to help it. And then finally we have in the last hangar control, we have the pilot ready room. Always important. So pilots really don't have any reason to go up other to the hangar bay. So, oops, didn't want to take this one. That's just back to where we came from. So yeah, that's where it's at. Oh, there's one other thing, and it's in A. I always put an emergency escape hatch in down through here. Just in case there's that. So this is sitting, it's no longer in a station and connected to the ground. It's actually in ship mode, and it is landing geared to this pad here. It's super heavy, so these 4 large thrusters isn't gonna cut it, so there's another 5 down here, and these are permanent, and I'll probably do something to kind of skin around them at some point, but those are permanent thrusters. They'll stay on there constantly. These ones are questionable of whether or not they'll stay. Like I said, that's just like right now I have them in place with the intent of removing them once it's in space. But there's also a possibility of me making this so that it's a station that you can land it on a planet and so it's like a mobile platform that can go other places, and then you can land it you know, and have a mobile station. So I'm on the fence on where I'm going with it, but right now I have my options open. But like I said, I still need to iterate over it. Like I said, I already can tell that I'm going to end up extending these hangars at least another 4 to 6 blocks. And yeah, I'm still not sold yet on how I'm doing the outside. It's hard to tell. Actually, let's do this so we can kind of see it in the daytime. Weather, remove weather, so we can kind of see it better. And time of day, let's get it midday. There we go. See, you can see, like, I mean, in space it's not going to matter a whole lot, but you know, on a planet it's you know, I always started out with like the default gray, and then I try to kind of figure out the color from there. And like, I like the way the base turned out, and I was trying to kind of capitalize on that look on the outside. And it's part of it is that because I used the stairs, I used this excuse me, sneeze. I used the stairs on the inside. I was like, well, let me use the ramps at the outside, so it's not so, I'm not so repeating myself, it's not so repetitive, and they're a little more subdued than the stairs. But yeah, I don't know, it's better than the ribbing thing where you use a block that brings it up a half a block, and doesn't, because that can, in little bits of instances it's all right, but you can get repetitive and just look kind of gross. Like I said, it's these things don't happen overnight. You know, this is just, like I said, this is first, after the first iteration. But the meat and potatoes is there, so we're doing well. Anyways, enough of this tomfoolery. Let's figure out where to park my character in the save so I know where I'm at when I get back. There we go. Let's while I'm switching load screens here, or game saves. Nose has been running pretty much all day, which is a good sign because it means it's gonna warm up, or it just means that it's warming up in my office. Why is this running red? It's getting up. My PC is running right at the edge of where it starts to notify me it's getting hot. Which is very odd considering the fact that just restarted. Okay, we're back at our original save. So Actually, you know what I forgot to do? Let me exit out of this. You can't see what I'm doing yet. Yeah, because we didn't add our mod. So let's get back to active so we can see what we're doing. Mods. This week's mod. So we added the assertive, and we didn't really see any of them yet. I don't want to add more combat stuff just yet. Let's see. What would be a good one this time? Well, we're going to Mars, so let's add the assertive bunkers too. Give me a lever long enough and a fulcrum on which to place it, and I shall move the world. I like some of those phrases that I got caught using one of those quotes once by a friend who also plays Space Engineers. He's like, I know that quote. You got it from Space Engineers. I'm like, that's a good quote. It's not a real quote, because half the time the quotes that I get, if you research them, they're not direct quotes. They're like a slang version of it. Oh yeah, I have that rover on here and I never even launched it. That's fine. We didn't need it here, and trying to run it on the moon is like a pain in the ass. So, we'll use it for Mars. That's what we'll do. So what we said anyways was, the plan was, we're gonna do some rover testing. So let's sit down and take a gander how our refining action is going. We got a lot of stuff that we got on this, in this refineries. Did make some ammo last time. Yeah, we were getting it to make us some uraniums, and at the same time making us refining some magnesium, so we're cutting through that. But we always want to keep that refinery busy. Did put some reactor. That's where we need that. Okie dokie. Well, this thing is on a tilt. It drives me nuts. I don't want to sit around waiting for refineries, even though I'm running like speed modules galore on this thing. Yeah, so we're all modded up on our refineries. So we're all good there. So what I'm thinking is I do have a large refinery on here, which I didn't realize initially. So I might take some of this ore with me. Just leave this base here and come back to it. Let it chew through the stuff I've got it chewing on right now. What do we got on board? Need a little bit more ammo, it looks like. Okay, we left some uranium and some platinum on board here, so that way our we got a good amount there of uranium too, so we've got the uranium to travel for sure. Let's check the gun here, make sure that we've got a goodly amount of ammo for them. Oh, I want to change this. Okay, makes it easier to figure out what the hell it is when I'm looking through. So if I go F10 and go to entity list, I can see what it is without having to make a small grid. Means that my miner doesn't have a label. Always probably, if you're doing an individual save or you're running as admin for a server, it's good to check this and make sure that they're, you know, try to keep all of your like static grid, small grid, large grid, and some numbers, keep those cleaned up. So, and you can clean up some stuff. Some military cargo ship out there somewheres. There it is. Okay. Right. So while that is chewing, alright, so back to what I was doing. Checking the ammo on the station. Oh! Almost landed in a pile full of welders. 12 and 12, and a little bit around auto cannon, auto turret, assault cannon, that's what it is. So probably want a few more rounds of that before we head out. So let's see. Let's make a few more of those rounds, and I'll put some extra rounds in here. Alright, well, I should keep it well armed for a bit, in case anyone stops by. I'm going to leave this miner here, and we'll build another one wherever we end up. Let's check our overall material, onboard materials here. Could use some more iron in this. The story on iron ore here. goodly amount, but let's use our miner to kind of, we'll grab some more iron for the actual ship before we head out. Especially if we're not taking this with us. We're gonna need it wherever we're ending up. Alright, so did I GPS anything on here, or do I just gotta look for it? Looks like I just have to look for it. Don't need that right now. Don't need that right now. Luckily, I picked a spot where everything is pretty available. Is it down here? Yes, it's down here. Well, that's one spot. What about over here? Yeah, this one. I think it's this hole. So many holes to choose from. Yeah, and I promise I will stay awake for the entirety of this stream. I don't know what happened to me on Frostbite last week. I was literally falling asleep during the stream, and it's like, how? Because, like, you know, I don't get tired playing this game. It usually wakes me up. Or, I mean, I do play it sometimes to relax, but I mean, it was like, all of a sudden out of nowhere, I was doing the head nod thing. I'm trying to kind of like talk and be active for, you know, the presentation, and it was not happening. Detectors are running a little slow today with that. Must concentrate. I don't know why I'm feeling the need to concentrate so hard. Do this all the time. Alright. We're gonna up the priority here. We're gonna put this right up front. Come on. I'm going to put these guys behind. Because we want to prioritize getting that iron chewed up. It'll chew up really fairly fast, so. Yeah. It's been a while since I've flown around on the moon. Forget how squirrely it is. Get in that hole. hope everyone had a good St. Patrick's Day. I interestingly actually went out and did something this time. Normally I'm like, I'm just gonna hide. Hope no one sees me. I usually don't go out, and in fact, as I was telling my friends, is like I usually don't go out on this night. I was glad I did, though. It's good to see people. It's one of those things where I think with like the aspect of like COVID and all that, like people that, what the hell? Oh, it's like not understanding the perspective that I was being given. But yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, even if your natural tendency is to kind of like hibernate and stuff like that, this is like the time where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do stuff. Partially also because the fact is, I think that for me, I can't speak for anyone else, for me, I've developed this tendency now of just being of living a kind of homebody life, living my life at home and not going out a whole lot, and subsequently I don't think of it, and you know, so you need kind of, or at least I need, like these major events like, you know, St. Patrick's Day or something like that to remember, hey, go out and experience the publics. Let's see, how much do we got here? 58 there. 9, so about 60. Yeah, that should be alright. Let's do one more load for funsies, and then we'll grab one more of those. We'll grab a load of ice, just cause. Maybe 2. Since we have hydrogen-based thrusters, it would probably be a good idea to have a source of said hydrogen with us. And I don't know what it is. It just seems like the window on this cockpit is more dirtier than it usually is. I need a like space engineer's version of Windex. That's actually the mod. I should have had the gunk be gone one. It supposedly clears that up a bit. Alright, this should be a righteous amount of iron to get us through. And we'll grab 1 or 2 loads of ice. Just 'cause. because Mars doesn't have any ice lakes. It does have areas with ice, but it's not like other planets like Titan and Triton and all of the other ones. Mostly because it's got Europa right there, and like you need ice, you just hop on over to the old moon there and grab yourself some. Okay, one more of those, and then we can beat feet. Why did I turn my lights off? Why did I turn my gyros off? Why am I turning everything off? What's going on? Where am I? What is this place? Alright, fine. Sometimes I just notice that you never will get that last little bit of the drill inventory to fill. Like, you're just grinding, you're just drill, and it just ain't gonna happen. So you just kind of accept it as is. Okay. Yeah, 200 KC's alright. I think that's about what I landed with, or took off from the Earth planet with. Let's park this bad boy. I really like the compactness of how this like refinery station came out. It actually turned out way better than I originally anticipated. I think I said that before. I was like, I like this. Let's see. Alright. Silicon just hanging out there to drive me nuts. You got a decent amount of ice in the generators. Ooh, magnesium. I should check to see how much magnesium is actually on board my ship, in case I need some for, I don't know, red target type people. Yeah, 8.8. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Shoot. Let's take about 100 of this. Yeah, I would definitely need to make some more ammo round, just regular ammo box rounds. So let's throw 30. Think of the guns are not full either, so it's a good idea that we did make that. grabbed 100. 30 will eat up that. Do I need to grab some more of that? Or it doesn't refine for crap. That's the problem. Trying to decide here if I want to do a couple more rounds of magnesium mining. We'll find some on Mars, I bet. Let's alright, let me just check my other ores here before I head on down the old pasture. So I got iron and made uranium and platinum, which will take forever, but what else? Got a decent amount of nickel, decent amount of silicon, definitely a decent amount of cobalt. Magnesium's like, silver's alright, gold's alright, uranium's good, and we do have some platinum. And we got ice up. Script. Let's go. So board says we're a little low on where we want to be with silicon, but that's fine. Definitely low on magnesium. Gold and platinum. Uranium's kind of getting there. And the iron we're working on. Silicon, we're a little short of the 5K. What do we have in the base? Should have been checking that board the whole time. You know, because I put it there for a reason. What's the silicon here say? Oh yeah, let's take about 3,000. Yeah, or that. That'll work. Alright, how's the board looking now? Yeah, short on gold, that's expected. Short on platinum, that's expected. Short on uranium, that's expected. Magnesium, we're short. That a little hurt, but we can get by. Iron, we're making it as we speak, and we should be well over that limit, so we should be fine. Part-wise, not great, but, you know, is what it is. Let's see. Jump drive's good. It's ready to go. Batteries are a little sad. Why are the batteries sad? Probably because I have the reactors turned off. Yeah, they'll come up eventually. Alright, let's get up and away. We do not want to head directly at that assert dude. Oh, hopefully I got ore mines marked on, so I was just like, oh, I hope I marked the moon base so I can get back to it, but I remembered I have at least one ore marker there, so I can at least find my way back. So. I have done that before. I have taken off from, spent all this time building a base and stuff like that, took off left, didn't have a GPS marker, and no real way of like finding it. Alright, where's this? Where in them darn Mars? Got one planet over there, but that looks kind of far away, so it's probably not it. Can't even see the Earth. Where's the Earth? I don't see nothing. Oh, it's right over our head. Here's Mars. Okay. Up and to the left. Yes, we're out of graph. Cool. Alright. Let's fire up this them there jump drive and see kick the tires and see what happens. Oh, this is such a long way. Alright. Dumping. Alright. So I think what we'll have to do is probably aim for, let's see if we can find anything cool. I don't think so. We'll probably have to just go for, shoot for the pole there. Do a flyby on this asteroid here. See if it's got anything that's worth it. Snoot. See how our reactors are doing. Don't know why there's so much iron in the assembler. Stuff gets everywhere. And still got 80 left, so we're good. Whoa. Extreme space. Let's see if we can find a nice flat spot to land on. Launch this rover. I mean, we did bring it all this way for a reason. We designed this ship just to carry the stupid thing. We should probably, like, launch it at some point. Reminds me, I should be, after I go past this, I should check to make sure it's still attached. These things have happened where you jump and then because of one thing or another, the ship that you thought was attached just got left behind. Well, it looks like it will be either gold or nickel. If it's gold, I'm marking it because those are really good ore deposits. Yeah, it's gold. Let's put the brakes on. Ah. I'll just do it like this. Astro gold. Good enough. If we make it to that marker, we'll know that it's there. I didn't type. Alright. That'll kind of work. Got to type GPS. Astro. Well, I already got one. So call it 2. Here. That tells me nothing. I'm assuming I'm gonna write these. Assuming near Earth. I've found myself like lately to start actually utilizing the description section to add a little bit more notes, because sometimes just the GPS marker alone isn't enough to help. Let's steer toward this pole. Yo. Should be clear to not run into something. Jump drive's got a little bit of time. Let's go check on that rover. Oh yeah, she's still here. Okay, cool. Hey, it's not the prettiest rover. But she's still hanging on. We should probably do a weight check. Basically 1.4, and we've got 2 thrusters with planetary 4. Yeah, we're fine. With Mars, it's a slightly lower gravity. It's a 0.9 versus a 1. And let's see, 2 large thrusters. Actually, yeah, I wouldn't do it. It's only going to be about, on an Earth-like planet, I think it's like 900,000. It's just under 1 mil. It's usually I use as a gauge is like one of them is like 498K at 1 G, and so it's kind of 1, megagram. Actually, it'd be 1 million kilograms, whatever that is. So it'd be 1 gigagram. So in trying to figure out thrusters for ships, or how much thrust you need, it's generally the rough gauge is you need 2 large hydrogen thrusters for every 1 million kilograms that you have. Space is a whole nother ball of wax. I mean, you can undercut that weight a whole bunch, because it's 0 G. It's just a matter of how quickly you're gonna thrust. It's not necessarily whether you can or cannot. That's why you notice I only put like 6 small thrusters for backing, or just small thrusters all the way around this thing. It's because I don't need it to steer so much, and I don't need it for losing gravity. It's just, yeah, it's not a lot of power, but it gets it done eventually. Like most of the work, the heavy lifting is in the back to go forward, on the bottom to go up. In fact, if you combine the forward thrusters with the up, so you always make sure that those are, you know, pointing down, you can kind of reduce the amount of like thruster that you need. But I want to get away fast, and I want to be able to leave a planet, so that's how the thrusters are arranged. And everything else is pretty much gyro, so you want to make sure that's why we have gyro. So there's ever been, I have 6 on here, and actually it turns pretty decently. So if you see, I can tilt for a large grid fairly, I would say it's not small, but it's not quite medium-sized ship. I'd say medium-sized large grid ship. It maneuvers pretty well at 6. I've tried to figure out, there's no real math calculations out there, because I guess it's always been one of those, you know, by feel. You can have too much gyro and it makes it really hard to steer, but that not too much on large grids. Usually it's on small grids where you have a really tiny ship in small grid, you put 2 gyros on it and it's nearly impossible to steer without cutting the power down something fierce on them. I have in the past, because of that, I've always just put 1, and then eventually if it feels like it's not maneuvering enough, I'll throw on a second one. But then I've had so many fighters where it's like that gyro is the first thing shot off, so I've gotten in this new habit now. Whenever I build new fighters, I put 2 gyros on it, cut them down in half, put 1, and I don't put them anywhere near each other, so that way if the thing gets shot up and the gyro gets off, there's still 1 there. It's, you know, and I can, you know, I can limp it. I can still steer it. I can still limp it somehow. Because the minute you lose that gyro, boy, you lose all steering, and it's kind of pointless. You might as well just jump out. Where's the jump drive? Yeah, it's okay. Don't know how much jump I need here, if any. Let's take it down to half. I'll do this and then I'll break atmosphere. Take it down to 25. So I've always used the half stepping method. We're really close. Big divot over there. I was hoping I'd be on the Olympus Mons side. We could land there, because that's always cool. It's like the one place on Mars that's like kind of touristy. But almost every single time for me to get there, I have to like land on the planet, drive around it, or I have to do like loops around it, because it's really hard to see from space, and I'm always on the wrong side. And so I always end up on it. Maybe that's what we'll do for the rest of this series, is just try to go find it. I mean, this is kind of like a bit of a kind of a showcase kind of things you can do as space engineers kind of a deal. I mean, I don't really have any kind of like, this isn't like a scenario or anything like that, and don't really have any real goals other than just kind of show stuff off. So I think what I'm going to do here, and it's what I usually do on Mars, is I'm going to build a large grid rover. So we'll land preferably by some ores, preferably by some ice. That's why I'm heading towards the pole there. So we've got fuel, and I will set up a mine like you do, and we'll build ourselves, you know, a little base, and we'll build ourselves a large grid rover and go searching. We'll probably need to have, we'll make it a mobile platform, because we're gonna probably need a miner ship and a fighter ship, because moving around we're gonna run into bases and we're gonna need to defend ourselves. So I know just the thing to build. Might take a little bit of time, but it'll be worth it. Actually one of my favorite. I don't know if I put it on the workshop or not. I'll have to, if I build it on here successfully and get it squared away, I might just then put it on the workshop, because it's pretty cool. I've used it because watching Splitsie series, these Wrong Way Down series, is like, I wonder what it would take to do that. I did actually a whole streaming series where I did it strictly with a small grid rover, and I can tell you matter of factly, other than like it's so easily damageable, it you can crash it and end up to the point of pretty much annihilating it. And while I was doing that series is periodically I would set up little kind of rescue stations that I could go back to kind of manufacture parts, get parts and stuff like that to fix the little rover. But yeah, it's way easier with a small rover than a big rover. But I was gonna do an extension of it where I did the same thing back the large rover. But I was just like, after doing that series, I realized that is not very exciting. I mean, it might be exciting with this because one, it's a little bit flatter, so it's not some, because where it gets boring is when you're climbing hills, which I built the way that this thing built. I could take this straight up a cliff. I had worked it out, a climbing method with it that was so good that I could literally just piston climb it right up a hill, but it takes forever because you're going at less than like I think the top speed going up with that was like 3 meters a second. If you notice, our descent is really slow, and that's because I'm not really descending so much as I'm flying towards the pole there to get towards the ice. While we're here, let's back this off so it doesn't glitch out. Ah. It's one of the things I said is that is a selling point to space engineers. One, the ship is flying, the ship is moving. In fact, I'm not even, no one's controlling it right now. It's going in. And the gravity is now taking over, so the ship is on a tilt because of it. Like, actually responds and your player responds really well. Like, I think in Star Citizen, I haven't been able to. I think I have been able to get a ship moving in a direction and then get out of a pilot seat and move around it, but I never had a ship that was big enough where that was, and it didn't do it well. Like, it was kind of, there was a good chance that the game would like glitch out while you're doing it, like things would stop working and stuff like that. Where in Space Engineers, it's just what you do. You can walk around, you can just plow this sucker right into a planet. No worries. Planet approaches can be a little slow, but I mean, it's quick than what it would be in reality. I don't know, I'm trying to remember actually. I think it's like, it's actually really not that long in realistic. I'm trying to think of, like, with the Apollo missions, like from the time of launch to the time they were actually in space was not a exorbitant amount of time. Of course, they didn't have a 100 meters per second speed limit, so and space was just a tad bit farther than 43 kilometers. Well, I don't know. That's a good question. Actually, I don't know how far it is in kilometers. There is a mod, by the way, for those that are curious, which I haven't ran it yet. I have ran it because it comes with the aerodynamics mod. It's tied directly into it. It's just atmospheric effects. So not quite the same, but if you come in at too fast, too steep an angle, your ship will burn up in atmosphere. The first time that happens, when you didn't know that mod was in place, is like, hey, what the hell's going on? We're coming for you, Ice Shelf. Alright, so the plan here is we're gonna get down to probably about between 2 and 400 meters. We're gonna hover and look for an iron deposit. F is not the key you want. F and key. yeah, once we get to about, once it starts to feel like we're like dropping more than we're moving forward, I'll engage the planetary thrusters. No need to run them when I don't need them yet. Let's turn a little this way. Oh, it's a little flatter. Getting into that meat and potatoes ice shelf. Okay, we're at full grav. At 0.9, so just have to be mindful about that. Terrain looks fairly smooth. We'll have a better idea when we're closer. We have an observer base already. Not a surprise. We were traveling laterally pretty far. So a combat fighter might be in our docket a lot quicker than originally anticipated. Get that in. Oh, we're right over iron. We need to hit the brakes. Let's swing this around. Don't want that. I'm down. Okay. There's an iron deposit right there. I can see the white spots from here. I don't want to be on, I don't want to land on top of it, I want to land next to it. So let's shift over here a bit. Iron, nickel, cobalt. All the stuff the growing boy needs. Let's see how flat this ground really is. spot right about, yeah. We'll get to stare at that observer base the entire time. That'll work. Oh, it looks fairly flat. How much for gear are we actually? Oh, all three. Nice. Alright, let's kill that. Turn that antenna off so we don't draw any attention. Let's see. Batteries look good. Jump drive looks good. Reactors are still running a little hot, probably because of the refinery. Alright, let's see if we can launch this rover. I don't even remember how I did this. Okay, hangar door. First piston. Release. Excellent. I was just thinking, I was just like, did I give myself a way to get off this mug with, and I did, but I can lower it. What? I bet you the door script is acting on the ramp. Yeah, let's do this. Manual. There we go. It's like butter. Let's see. Wheels are on. What does that look like? It's. It just looks that way. Detector on this thing. Dude, it's not in the menu. This menu kind of makes no sense. Dude, it's just not in the menu. What? is going on with this thing? This is obviously set up a long time ago, before I used the method I use now. Say there's only one connector. Why were there two spots where there was whatever? Oh, okay. Lights, sure. Why is that there? I do not know. At any rate, vector, range, all of it. All right, we're gonna work on this iron deposit first. Let's see what our antenna range is. Too far. 600. On. I'm gonna left click drill this first because get all that sweet ice.
Inventory full.
Maybe even a little bit of stone.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
How's the batteries look on this thing? Yeah. Almost full. About 89%.
Inventory full.
Want you on. It's a nice view.
Inventory full.
Good place for a base, man. You got Europa there, the sun, there's like a planet in between there. That's probably Earth because it looks like the moon next to it. Good spot.
Inventory full.
So pretty.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Actually, this is That's where it should be.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
So kind of doing a bit of a old school survival start here. Try to save the materials I have in the ship for when I need it.
Full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Probably getting pretty close to the iron.
Inventory full. Inventory
So
full.
some of the rocks that I've been seeing are look like they're iron. Yes.
Inventory full.
Okay, how we looking? Moving along nicely. While that's working on that, we'll continue to mine this out.
Inventory full.
And actually, what I'll do is walkway this out.
Inventory full.
Keep that little survival cater rolling.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Come on, get in there.
Inventory full.
line this out instead of
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
oh, what's going on with my phone now? Oh.
Inventory full.
Doesn't matter how many people you tell and stuff like that. No one will believe you when you say, hey, you know, Sundays and Monday nights I stream and I'm kind of busy, so I'm booked.
Inventory full.
Alright, well now I can walk up and down it. Alright, let's see. So now, what we're gonna need, come here, is, this is not routed in that way, I have to come from here. So what we'll want is our drill platform. Let's not do this one. Let's see. What are we gonna do? We're gonna make a Mars color. That seems about right. I like round numbers. 100. There we go. So we're gonna come, yeah, right up about there. Now I'm gonna use my favorite new drill rig setup. So if I can remember how to do it. This and yeah, then we're gonna do I want it. Is that the one I want? I think it is. Yes, that's the one I want. So I have, so when you have to do a lot of, when you play this game and you do a lot of mining, you keep coming up with new efficient ways of setting them up. And I finally, after many iterations, came up with one that, not that one, that is pretty efficient, works for me. That one. And then it went,
Energy low.
and let's see. Need other stuff, other things and stuff. So how I've come to do this setup is so I, much like everything, I wireframe it out, and I wireframe it with all of the needful parts. I usually use just a basic assembler because that's all you really need, and it's a lower power solution. If I need a larger assembler, I can just go over the ship and get it. Then these here. Yeah. So what this does is that, so you have a I need a battery.
Energy critical.
Yeah. There we go. Jump in the rover for juice here. So what this setup is that you have, obviously I just laid down the battery, basic assembler, refinery. I'll put in a large cart container. It's literally the most, like, this is, I call it basically the remote mining station rig. So we need cargo container. It all kind of like marries itself up pretty well. Actually, I want to change. I'm going to add something to this design that I haven't used before. Like this, and then yeah, so this is like with a large refinery. So you get a battery and a junction that conveyor junction that gets the piston, which feeds the refinery, and cargo to hold everything. It does make the assumption that you've got a lot of this stuff built ahead of time, but what I do is once I get it laid out, then that's all there just so that as a marker so I know where stuff is. I want to weld this up first because I'm going to block access to it. The only thing I'm not going to be able to make is small tubes. I need that. Or I need power too. It's one of those the ironies of things. I need and I will to finish that out. I need, so I'm just gonna cheat it. Fly to the ship. Grab the parts I need, which is basically just the parts I really needed was the small tubes, but they got the motors too. All right, so that's in place. There's a way around it where I make this, I finish this, and get some power going on here. Usually I want it away from the I have any left? Yes. away from the drills as much as I can, and I don't really need this port, and it's always a good spot to land it, so let's do... So we're already 1 up, so it's 4, 5, 6, 9. So now that gets all my parts in it. So once the turbine stuff, so I'm gonna re-add that back in. So once I finish the turbine stuff, I have power, and then I can build that assembler. And then from that assembler and power, and from the ores that I'm getting from there, I can build, actually I should put that in place if I got that steel plate to do. And then I can put in a basic refinery to start. And this is just temporary. To get the big refinery on. So this is how you, my new kind of like basic build start. And then what I do is that as soon as I get the big dog ready, I get rid of this thing, and it's in a spot, because in the past I've done this like thing where I build like a platform, and I put assembler and a cargo container, and then a basic refinery, and then I have to contort all around everything. What I found is I lay everything out first, even if I don't weld it, I just wireframe it out where it's going to be, and then I put in, because I want to make sure I don't put this in a spot where I only want to keep it. Like as soon as I can grind it away, so I put it in a spot where I don't need it to exist. Come on, make my girders, man. You did make my girders. Oh, wrong port, dude. There's a reason why there's a cubby hole there. Okay, power's up. So now I go over here, click on this. So I might have to change the order around. So that's doing all right. Waiting on your computers. It's so slow. drop these in there for right now. So I got on me. Tubes for some strange reason. Oh, I bet you I had that conveyor in my thing twice. Let's throw those over there. Still got some. And you can go in there. Still got some of that too. I'll put you in there. And then, as I always say, always be doing something. You're just standing there watching menus.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Ah. Oh, tell me you didn't. Oh, it's over here. So now while I'm waiting. So, done? It's done. Okay, now I'm gonna do this so that I can refine that iron. Put that in there.
Inventory full.
And I'm going to go over to this thing and I'm going to get it to figure out what I need to make
Low.
these. And I need 267 iron. So 814. I'm a little short, so I can't really steal it from there yet. Be fine once I get the basic refinery up, because then I can refine the iron that I'm already pulling. We're doing doing all right. Running that engine, I just want to keep an eye on the ice. Don't want to run out of it.
Inventory full.
Alright, we're good now.
Inventory full.
So once I get the basic refinery up, I'll take all that iron ore that I've already got out of there and stick it in that. Just have that process from that.
Inventory full.
'Cause iron's the thing you'll need the most. You get to all the other stuff kind of ancillary. And I don't like processing stone in basic refineries because it's highly inefficient.
Energy critical.
As if anyone saw my refining video, you'll find out you get the same efficiency and speed out of this survival kit than you do out of that. Survival kit's only going to do stone, so the most efficient thing to find stone is your survival kit. Weirdly enough, and it uses less power. Survival kits run on 110, 200. So it's running right now at 200 kilowatts. The basic refinery, 260. And you get 2/3 the the ingots out of it. That's kind of a waste. But you can't do ores with it. You can only do stone. So you use the basic refinery to refine the ores enough to get the regular refinery and get your efficiency back. It's this very cockamamie way of going about things. Go. Now I just grab all this. It's not a whole lot of it. Thought there was a little bit more of it than that, but just run that in there. So now I can actually drill for it.
Inventory full.
Now, it won't get to there because I haven't built this hydrogen O2H2 gen yet. So I have to manually transfer it over, but that's not a big deal. It's only temporary. Let's get that over. And then we need some silicon. Can't remember how much I need. I think just 100 will do it. And grab 100 of that. Perfect. Once I'm making that, now from you, what you can do for me is you can do this, and actually we'll put that over in here. We want to make sure we're periodically pulling those power cells out of there because they can actually gum up this basic refinery. It only has a limited amount of space, and next thing you know, it stops running. Hey, how many did I put in there? Weird. Okay. That has what you need. Put the extra. Yeah. And next thing I'm gonna watch the refinery, so I'll put whatever's left. Yeah. Alright, now we want to go ham on this iron.
Inventory full.
Come on. Don't keep hopping around it. You can do it. Didn't stay up on these things like I said I needed to. Now we have that battery up against power regulation, so now you don't hear that, like, it sounds like kicking a side door or something like that. Alright. Now we're gonna start work on this thing. That will get us our direct connect, so I don't have to manually move stuff.
Inventory full.
Big thing now is trying to get enough iron batched up for the major refinery, the regular
Inventory
refinery.
full. Inventory full.
Let's see. I should probably start moving all manufacturing operations over to the assembler. We're just gonna, don't need that. Now we're gonna need just over 7K of iron to get that
Energy
refinery up.
low. Inventory full.
Come on, jackass. We're just gonna start going right straight to it. I need to fix this path. It's pissing me off.
Inventory full.
So this iron
Inventory
is
full.
looks like it's a sliver, so we're not gonna have to drill deep, but we'll probably have to drill wide. So we're gonna have to make sure that we're thinking about that when we're setting up our drills. We're running out of seed juice here, so we're gonna call an audible, and I'm gonna make 38 and 30.
Energy critical.
I don't understand how I will say 30 and 30 and it always ends up making more. It's been weird. And just like that, in probably less than an hour, I'll be able to look back at the tapes later. I have a fully functioning like station. All I need is some silver, and I can actually bring a survival kit online. I don't see any around here. I might take the rover out once I start working on the iron, which I'm, or the main refinery, which I have the stuff for now, so must have got overzealous with the button. So do this then, and we'll go here and put that in. Need the cobalt. Forgot about the cobalt. It's over here. We're just gonna high speed drill for this right about there. We don't need a lot. We don't want to back up our refinery, basic refinery with us. See how much good enough. So we're good on, we need a little bit more.
Inventory full.
Once that gets to 20, then we can switch it off. That's all we need for that right now.
Inventory.
And while we're waiting, then we can take the rover out and explore for, see if we can find some silver. Oh, I hit a nickel deposit. Actually, we knew it was right there. We just we're able to get close enough to it. basically right over there, so we're gonna end up getting a lot of that incidentally. Once we get the big refinery done, we can start working on the container and the drills. Okay, that's done. Move cobalt to last because we don't need it. And it will gum up the works. We're going to call this the Mars Mining Outpost 1. Not that don't know if I'll be making another one, but so I think that's gonna be enough. Yeah, that's enough. All right, so let's even though it's dark out, so I'm kind of hoping to brighten up a little bit, but let's try. Let's stop for a minute and we'll just do a basic GPS so we don't lose track of where we're at. I'm gonna try off this way a little bit. Just kind of head out about 1 to 2 Ks. I'll go 1K and about this, and then start just doing a bit of a circle. Trying to stay about 1K away from the ship. Deposit spot here, and I think this is like a raw ice spot, so I'm gonna stop here and I'm just gonna because I could see with it's night and with the lights, I could tell that there was like the discoloration white spots going on, which means that was a full deposit of ice and not just because of the surface ice that I got here. And because that GPS marker was kind of hanging out. Don't want to get too close to that outpost. I don't want it to fire off. There's a research base and I'm getting all of the indicators. It's another iron, another nickel. Cobalt. Doing well there. I just need silver, kid. Worst case, I'll just take it out of the our ship because we've got it there. There's gold. Silver tends to end up near it sometimes. At the very least, we can mark that. Oh, too far, too far, too far. Well, let's mark that. So much for it being near there. Let's start heading back a little bit. Alright, well, our 1K search didn't yield us much, and it's too dark to kind of go looking for ore patches, so we'll head back and we'll just grab it off the ship for right now. Now, if this was like a true survival start, I would have not set up camp until I had at least found the silver part, because obviously that's mucho importante. But let's park that right here. How's ice doing? Just fine. Might as well take that out. Not gonna be refining that for very much longer. Alright, let's go grab that silver. Or actually, we'll just not even grab the silver, we'll just grab the stuff we need. Let's do... Oh, not 30. Let's just do this, do that, just for the sake of time. No, god dang it. Put all that back. This, that, and that. Go here. Take out that. that. I'm gonna turn this off. Refinery. That over there. Move all this. Kill that off. Let's see. I should probably start. I need to start working on the drill. That's as far as what I can get with that. We're gonna need some of that. Actually, we're gonna need some of that too. Actually, we got some. I always tend to practice for and do everything like I don't have a jetpack for the moments that I, even though I always do. Let's see. I could start there. Actually, I think I just will. And was I still standing on it? Oh, that's right. Wasn't quite there yet. Okay, need motors, tubes, and what have you. This, and use these. Okay, how I get there? I think I just do it like this. How many more of those I need? Oh, 6. in case you're curious, I'm showing you how you do all this without a jetpack. Motors yet. Some more construction components. Because, you know, you're always trying to make it a little bit more challenging. Even though I built that, there's a way to do it. You just have to, I call it Minecraft your way up. The sun will come up soon. It's actually a really good location because you get to see all of them. There's Euro. I bet you it's Bertam over there, and that's Titan, Earth. That one you can't see is the alien planet. That's probably on the other side. Still, good view. Let's take this up 50%. Call this mine drill. And we're gonna go 5. Significantly more iron. Because we're gonna need that's 300 per drill. That's 1500. So it's as much, if not more, than what you need for the actual refinery itself. But it pays dividends. I could go with the smaller drills, which requires significantly less material, but you don't yield as much, and I'm here anyway. And I got the full refinery, so I'm efficiently refining. Finally.
Inventory full. Energy low.
Oh, I did take my walkway away. I gotta put that back. Let's see. Stop chewing on that garbage. Okay, we need one of these and one of these. Now, if either one of them bases decide to start sending stuff at us, we head to the big ship, so the guns there can take it out. Oxygen's getting a little low, so I'm gonna jump in here real quick, fix that.
Inventory full.
Keep this up, there won't be any iron left. It's alright, we'll mine a butt ton of stone, and then once we get it down one level, and so rather that, then we're gonna be drilling sideways anyway. That's why we have to be 5 wide, so that we can have room.
Inventory full.
The only problem with this design is I don't really have any ports on the other side here until I get to that, building that container, which I should probably build that first. Not producing anything, so actually I'm gonna go for it. It's yeah, we need 360 and 24. So let's do and what do we need in regards of that? 80. And some tubes. Some tubes. And, motors, computers, display. Display is kind of ridiculous and fun. Weirdly needing nickel. I say weirdly because you're right. We have some right here.
Inventory full.
This first, then this. And that. One of the other things that we're going to probably want to do is up our power production. I think the one wind turbine's not going to cut it, and we're probably going to lose that battery at some point. About an hour. Do a little bit of setup here. In the sun, it arrives. Motor displays and computers, that's all I need. Alright, that's going. So now we have our entire drill manufacturing process in place, but now we just need the drills. Kick that off. Still gonna need a butt ton of irons.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Oh yeah, having that full-size refinery, you can see that the materials, like, refining at a much quicker pace. And it's not that it's quicker, it's just the fact that it's refining more efficiently. Cool, that should be pretty close to all the iron we need. We need 1,500. So we need another 5. Yeah, I think that's that. We're gonna need some tubes too, so we're gonna need 60 of them. That's gonna cost us.
Energy low.
And 200 of those. I have a 25. Yep, we got enough material. Cool. Oh yeah, we should probably work on more power.
Energy critical.
Especially for my suit. It's just gray. Okay, we're gonna need more girders. Get that going right now. How many motors did we need for each of those? 8. Yeah, so 2 more should do it. I think we'll need some computers today. Let's put you here. Yep, computers and motors is all I need. And a little bit more construction components. missing these? I think we did. Nope, just large ones. No, we have a whole bunch. Actually, I know what we need tube then, eventually. Here. 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 That already has them. What else? Well, you need motors. You need computers. That should take care of the power production problem. Yep, battery's charging now. And it's going to be about that time. Let's see if I can hold up just a little longer and wait. Let's get these drills together. Let's move these ahead. So I can do some funky stuff with the plates. Whoa. That is a very effective grinder. All right, and then over here. Okay. Now the drills are mostly done. Need some O2. Cheat that by doing this. Now I should not hit this platform. I need to get this up. Put you over here. Put this other stuff first. Get this set up. Groups. Don't know why that's been flashing. I was noticing that earlier. It was flashing and it doesn't, I don't understand that. I don't know why it started doing that. It's very odd. Let's set the velocity to 0.0. 1. Hit the drills. Hit rotation. And reverse. Let's go on a welding ride. That's how you weld drills the rest of the way. Alright. Okay, well thanks for joining me for another learning how to SC. For next week, we'll be processing through finishing up this drill rig and setting up some base facilities to eventually start building our large grid rover. Then we're going to use that to seek out new life and new destinations. Actually, we're just gonna go see if we could find Olympus Mons, however that process takes. And tomorrow I'll be back with Frostbite, but if I don't see you then I'll talk to y'all next week. Thanks. Good night.